today?
Yeah, that was it was big. Connor coming up and giving us 5 innings there was outstanding. Falling behind early, but keeping things small. And then like you said, Gibby, first inning didn't go as planned, but he was able to bounce back. The ball was coming out great. He just had a little bad luck there with the wind swirling wind double there to start things off, and he's got to mentally put that behind him and not let that snowball in him. But he did a good job of bouncing back the next 2 innings and giving us two big zeros. They got the first out there in the 9th off a kid that I didn't know was human coming into today. I mean, Loma Vita was torching us every day and swinging the bat really good, but we were able to figure out a way to get him out today. So that was a big out, and then Sheaf was able to finish.
So seeing the ball come out of Kiplin's hand well, was that the rationale behind letting him call for second in the third and fourth inning after that rough first inning?
Yeah, and just we've had some wounded soldiers down there, with Hunter Omled's under the weather and was trying to gut it out, and that's why we hadn't thrown him the first 2 days. He's dealing with a respiratory issue and doesn't look great, just from a physical standpoint. It's like, man, you got to get some sleep and rest up and get healthy. But his credit, I'll give you what I got, coach, try to give you an inning. But we had him up and going, and understood that he wasn't feeling great down there still. So we had to try to have, get some length out of those 2 guys and try to get Gibby to give us another inning. And the way he looked coming out the second inning, it's like we try to stretch him one more, and he did great that inning. I'm like, man, keep him rolling. Try to get the first guy out, and we'll go from there and match up if we have to. Because we knew Sheaf threw yesterday, and we didn't want him to have to go more than a full inning. So if we could steal some outs and have him finish if we needed to, then we would. So that was kind of the thought process behind that.
This is the 4th straight game now where you're going down in the first inning and roared back to be able to win, especially in the wake of last week in Washington State. Wasn't saying about the resilience of your team to be able to fight back from those early deficits, stringing together the longest streak of the season back at 500.
Well, I think you look at the body of work as a whole. This whole week has been the biggest challenge we've had so far this year, right? It is you come off getting swept in Pullman, and everyone thinks the world's ending, and that type of stuff, and we don't have a Friday night starter, we don't have a Saturday starter, so to speak. We got Jax Ryan's out for the year, we got News probably out for the year, we got all these injuries going. It's like, man, who do we have left? And then all of a sudden we look up and we got a 4-0 week under our belt against some pretty good teams. So we'll take it, but I think it's hopefully just the start of these guys starting to, trust their abilities and come with the mindset of ready to play every day. And again, I've never asked for perfection. We're not going to be perfect. Things are going to be ugly at times, but just keep battling and keep fighting. And this was a great bounce back week for these guys. So
from that standpoint, Coach, offensively, like you just said last week in Poland, last week you're not going the way you want to. It seemed like the bats maybe started to heat up more and then going into Vegas. Do you feel that even though those were losses offensively, that was kind of what you've been looking for from your team?
We had a lot of base runners last weekend, runners in scoring position. We didn't do as well as we'd like, and 2-strike hitting needs to be better. But they've made some pretty good adjustments this week, off a pretty good pitching staff in Cal that I think we struck out 3 times today and 6 yesterday and the day before. So I can take that. I can live with that. Guys starting to put the ball in play with 2 strikes, good things happen. It's just a mindset, mentality, and hopefully we can continue to come with that approach and at worst case put the ball in play with 2 strikes, but early in the count looking to do damage. So.
Can you talk a little bit more about the resiliency that this team has shown since last week, where you go get swept in a big Pac-12 series, and then you're down in 4 consecutive games to come back, you lose all those starters, just the team as a whole, how much fight they've shown the last week or so?
It's been great to see, but rather than sit here and praise, it's like, man, those are the expectations, right? So we're not in this situation. Maybe if we come with that intensity 2 weeks ago, maybe we're sitting in first place right now, who knows? But those are the expectations, and it's a much better brand of baseball, a much more fun brand of baseball, and a lot more fun to be around when guys are coming with that type of mindset and aggression toward playing the game the right way. So, but again, it does take guys willing to bounce back from being knocked down, which they did last week. So hopefully we can keep it going.
The guys were just sitting in here telling us they're having more fun. Is that something that you've seen with the team overall these last 4 games, having a little bit more smile on their faces?
Yeah, I mean, I think to me that's how, you know, I'm not sitting here asking guys to be militant and regimented and not have fun, but being, in my mind, everyone's definition of fun is different. My mind of fun is being aggressive and coming out ready to go and go attack somebody when you're playing. To me, that's fun, not sitting back and waiting and being timid. That's when you get beat, you know. And like I said, at the end of the day, the results are we've come out on top the last 4 games, but just the brand of baseball has been so much better. And to me, that's what's important. If we continue to come with that aggressive style of play and be on the hunt for something good to happen, then I can live with the results.
Just last night you told us how the hitting with runners and scoring position runners on in general have been dismal. Now today with 8 guys getting hits, everyone getting on base, what does it say the team to be able to adjust and adapt?
They're growing. They're getting better. So I think that's again, I give all the credit to the players. You know, they're buying into what we're selling, and they're the ones out getting it done. So again, it takes that shift in mindset to, yes, I'm going to get this done, versus, oh no, what if I don't? Nah, turn the page on that, man. You know, you're the guy that's going to get it done, and start having confidence in yourself. So yeah, they're starting to get better at it.
2 starts this weekend and 2 home runs for Raymond Lance. Is he forcing your hand a little bit with the lineup this upcoming week?
It's certainly a nice addition, you know, to where he is a guy that the guys like, you know, when he's in the lineup, and they get behind him, and you know, as long as he continues to do what he's doing, I mean, he like I said, I'll be the first to admit he probably deserved a shot a little bit prior to this, but you know, the fact that he's now contributing and in there, I think he definitely needs is going to be, yeah, forcing my hand to keep him in there at times and mix him in and out, and at least give us another bat that is fresh off the bench, where I don't have to ask him to pinch hit off a guy without having an at bat in 2 weeks. That's tough to do, man, and you know, can continue to mix him in. And there's other guys that I feel bad that I haven't gotten in there. You know, Josiah Cromwell, Trey Newman. You know, these guys that are good players that again, if I put them in, someone's got to come out, and it's that's the challenge for me, and that's I've always wanted good problems in that department. I got them now, so it makes my nights a little bit less sleep, because I'm waking up trying to figure out who I'm going to put in here and there and get in playing time and keep them sharp. So, but like I said, good problems to have.
Talking on Connor Marco's performance today, it's his 3rd consecutive quality start. Are these the kind of performances that you kind of expected from him during these stages of the season?
That's why we went out and got him when he was in the portal. We knew he was a senior, you know, a veteran arm that knows how to pitch, and is he going to light up the radar guns with 95, 96? No, but he knows how to pitch and knows how to get and eat up innings and keep us in a game, and that's exactly what he's done. And yeah, that's why we went and got him. Just a serviceable, great, bona fide starter that knows how to get outs and eat up innings. And he's going to give up some hits. We knew that, but the facts are he limits damage very well. He keeps guys off balance, and then, you know, he gets guys thinking, and then it's not only what he does for himself when he's out there, but how he sets up the rest of the guys. When you have Jonah throwing the way he's been throwing, a little bit more life and ride on his fastball, it makes that even play harder when guys have been seeing change-ups and, come on, you know, fastball away, change-up, and then you come in with another guy with a little bit of life on his ball. It kind of helps him as well. So can't say enough about what he's done for the entire staff.
The production that you've gotten out of Kianfu, not only today but this season, even not as a regular starter, has been impressive. What have you seen from him in day-to-day that's kind of allowed him to stay ready in his opportunities arise?
You know, there's another guy that deserves to play more than he has. And when you look at the outfield, it's a crowded outfield. You know, Harris Williams, Isaiah Jackson, Nick McLean. You know, Kean Vu has just sat there and wait his turn, and every time I call upon him, he produces and does well. And that's a guy that will start getting more playing time.
Do you have no doubt he'd get to that last out on that diving catch?
I'm glad he did.
What is it about, from what you know, his process, whether it be mentally or in practice every day, that he kind of shows to have you kind of believe that he's going to be ready each and every time?
He's bought into what we're doing, and he understands his role and his situation. He understands where he fits in this team, and he understands he's a big piece, and that I'm going to call upon him, probably in the most crucial times of the game. And he's ready for it. And I can't say enough. I don't know what he is pinch hitting this year, 4 or 5 or 4 or 6 or something, but that's tough to do. And he just continues to produce and be outstanding in that department. And then to go out and play the defense that he does, he's a bona fide center fielder that's sitting by me a lot. But like I said, that kid, he's going to start playing a little bit more.
The contributions that you got from him, Lance, Mario DeMera, you guys who weren't really expected to get starting playing time at the start of the season, and now they've really fueled your turnaround in 4-0 week. What, from your perspective, has, I guess, allowed them to kind of be those anchors?
I mean, I think we've had a couple of injuries, and we've had some things not go our way, I guess. Referring back to last weekend, where we had to stir things up a little bit, and these guys have waited long enough. It's their turn, and sometimes the guys that are running out there every day need a reminder that, hey, dude, your job's not safe. Even though we run you out there every day, you better not get complacent, or somebody else is going to take your job, and they're going to be the ones that start playing every day. So, don't get too comfy. And for me, that's hard to take starters out of the lineup because of what they've done. But other times it's necessary. And to a fault, I haven't done that probably as often as I should so far this year. But I'm still learning, and maybe this is that type of team where you got to keep guys on edge by playing other guys and keep mixing them in. So, Lancer and Vu and Mario's starting to get more and more comfortable. You see it every game he's out there. He's starting to get more comfortable. So, and starting to contribute and come up with some big hits. It's great to see those guys contributing.
How important is this week going to be in terms of you don't have a game one game between now and next Friday for the pitching staff, getting a chance to reset them after a lot of guys went beyond what they normally go this weekend?
It's big. I mean, I just said we turn the calendar from week to week. Every week's a big week. There's no easy ones. There's no easy games on the schedule. But this, having Easter Sunday tomorrow and Monday off, and then just a game on Tuesday. It's an important game. We got Grand Canyon, and they're always coming in hot and heavy to play us, and that's going to be a tough one. But then we got a few days until we get to Corvallis after that. So timing is good for us to be able to just have one game this week and a couple extra off days in there to kind of get our bodies back to par and hopefully get some of these guys healthy.
With Connor, he gave you 5 innings. I think he threw 70 or so pitches. What were the factors that led to the decision to take him out after that?
One of those was he was having a little bit of just wanted to monitor the pitch count on just the health of the week that we've had, and him continuing to get treatment on some of the stiffness he's had here and there, but just didn't want to push him much beyond that. That was something we talked with Jesse Lohman, our trainer, about. He didn't really want to go much over 80 with him this week, just to try to make sure we ensure that he stays healthy coming off the last couple weeks. So he's a guy we can't afford to have go down right now.
Was that a matter of the nights before that had I guess you were monitoring and keeping him out on the weekend, or is it something you're just saying general stiffness?
I think there's that's something you gotta, once it kind of rears its head, you gotta continue monitoring it, and it reared its head a few weeks ago with him, and he's been feeling much better, but at times, there's still a little bit of soreness there. So, it's one of those things that we got to make the best educated guess of where that limit is to not push him too hard to have that flare back up again, to an extent where he wouldn't be able to pitch next weekend. That was kind of where we felt comfortable in that 70 to 80 pitch range.
And you also mentioned Contreras off the season, Jax Ryan perhaps in that same boat. Were those recent sort of developments in terms of the timeline?
Jax Ryan found that out yesterday, that he's going to be out for the year with surgery this week. Tough kid. He dove for a ball in Pullman and dislocated his shoulder. And I thought he was going to be ready to play this weekend by his week of practice, and seemed like he was moving around pretty good. But then the MRI showed a little bit more significant damage than we had thought, and it's best for his long-term career to get that handled and not run the risk of that popping out, from time to time. That's only going to make things worse in the long run. So best for him to go do that now, so he'll be hopefully ready for the fall next year. And then, new Contreras, I'm not ready to close the book on that yet. He's been feeling great, but it's his back. We're going to take every precaution to make sure that it's healthy before he plays. We have a couple of the best back doctors on the planet that are monitoring that and giving us the advice and which pathway to take with that. So as of right now, it's still going to be, not anytime soon, but who knows, if we get hot and make a run late, then maybe he's ready for that end of the year run.
How would you describe the mental approach you saw from the lineup today when there were 2 outs?
I think it's I brought that up to the guys after the game. Fourth inning there, we had 2 outs, nobody on, and DeMera hits a nubber where, they call him out, and we got a challenge right. How about it? And it gets overturned, and then a double, and then a hit by pitch, and then another double, and then another hit, and then like that all started with a nubber with 2 outs and nobody on. And so you never know when a big inning is going to start. You just keep passing the torch and keep putting together good at-bats and not give up. Don't give in on at-bats. Everyone matters. So ultimately that ended up being the difference of the game, that six-run inning. So you never know when it's going to start, but you got to take every at-bat with an intention of doing something good and getting something handled with that at-bat.
What was Jax's injury exactly?
Just dislocated shoulder, and so I think result of that is a labrum, issue that comes along with the shoulder popping out. So I don't know all the technical terms of it, but I believe it's surgery will be repairing the labrum, and the ball in his shoulder, I guess, got bruised and that type of stuff. So
With the loss of those 2, have you started to think about maybe more permanently trying to solidify the left side of the infield? I know Kevin Carsetter's had some time at third, DeMera's had some time at third, and Nandina's been playing a short a lot.
we're going to mix and match however we have to. I'm not opposed to throwing some guys over at third that you haven't seen over there before, that we've discussed today on trying to get them more playing time. It's just, right now, hopefully Mario can solidify that and continue to get better and better. But at the end of the day, that's kind of a position that is, since New has gone down, no one has really stepped up and taken it over. So we're going to do whatever we got to do. And if that means we got to shuffle guys around in different spots, hey, well, again, to kind of keep things fresh and keep things, guys on edge a little bit and sharp, so be it. But right now, I don't see anything solidified, in that infield right now. It's guys are gonna have to mix and match and be ready to play. We might be putting some guys out in different spots that might make you scratch your head and go, "What's he doing? He's lost it." But hey, we're gonna do what we got to do.
You mentioned third base, no one's really stepped up. Do you think Nandina's kind of stepped up a little bit more at shortstop?
He does. Steven does a lot of things well, and there's as everybody, right? There's things that he's got to improve on and get better at. But as long as he continues making the routine plays and handling the bat the way, and we had a good day today handling the bat, but there's been some situations where just getting the fundamental bunts down has been come on, man, you got to get that. That's part of your game. You got to be able to do that type of stuff. But he's an energetic player. When he's playing with energy, he can be infectious in there, and that's what I ask of him. But there's days where he's going to need a breather too, and we're going to have to. With Jack's going down, we're going to maybe have to shift. Mendoza over there. He played a good shortstop the other day in Vegas. Beyond that, I don't know. Isaiah Jackson thinks he can play short, so maybe we'll give him a look there too.
Do you think he can play short?
No, I don't. But hey, he never say never, I guess.
Is Steven part of that group with Isaiah that you were talking about yesterday, the bunting group?
There are several guys in that, and that's Anthony Gillich's kind of club that he's put together. So knowing exactly who's in that, those two guys I believe are in that. Yeah.
We talked about Pat Murphy last night, and had a lingering question about that. In what ways do you feel like you've replicated his coaching philosophy, and what ways have you seen yourself be different through your 3 years?
I think Murph. Murph was pretty tough. Pretty tough on us, and he demanded a lot, and always held your feet to the fire. To demand this, demand that, and that's something that I'm still learning to get better at. I at times let my guard down, and but I think you have to let your guard down at times and have fun with these guys a little bit. But I'm seeing that when I do that, they get a little bit relaxed, and so I'm still learning how to continuously hold guys accountable, even though there's a mistake. Instead of letting it slide, Murph never let things slide. He was always on guys, and he established the culture of it wasn't always him. Pretty soon the leaders of the team started holding guys accountable, and that's when we started really taking off. So I'm trying to get us to that point to where if I got to continue being the guy holding guys accountable, great, but hopefully at some point these guys in the clubhouse start seeing it and believing it and understanding why it's important to be able to do that. But everyone's got their own style. I've played for a lot of great managers over the years, and I'm trying to take bits and pieces from all of them and put it into my own style.
Thanks, Coach.